Understanding children's emotions can be challenging, especially when children seem to be overly emotional. Hello, I'm Samantha from Learning Success. This video is part of a series to help you, the parent, understand your child's emotions so you can better help your child manage and express these emotions in positive ways. In this series, you'll get help from a variety of experts in the area of childhood emotions. Learning Success is sponsoring this series because we want to help. In today's video, we have Dr. Markesha Miller. Dr. Markesha Miller is a licensed psychotherapist, consultant, and a leading expert in the mental health field. As the host of On the Mark with Dr. Markesha Miller, she brings life to significant issues that individuals may face through her ability to connect with her guests while motivating and encouraging her audience. She has been and is often featured on various media platforms speaking about mental health awareness, addressing mental health issues, and educating the public on relevant mental health topics. Dr. Miller is putting mental health on the mark. Let's see what Dr. Markesha has to say about helping children manage emotions.
Having a child who is overly emotional can be challenging, it can be stressful, it can also be overwhelming, as well as possibly give you feelings of feeling defeated. But I want to give you a different way of looking at it, a different way to reframe it. Instead of saying my child is overly emotional, I would challenge you to say my child has not properly learned how to handle his or her emotions. So let's talk about emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? Well, with emotional intelligence, we're talking about the ability to be aware of and to properly control your emotions. We know that oftentimes adults may not have adequate emotional intelligence, and we know that children may not properly mature emotionally. And so when we talk about reframing, we're talking about teaching your child how to actually respond appropriately emotionally. Now, there are some things that can stunt one's emotional intelligence. Some of these things are trauma-based. Maybe your child has experienced something that was traumatic. Maybe your child also may have experienced something indirectly or through vicarious trauma. These are things that you would want to be aware of. These things can stunt your child's emotional intelligence. Also, you want to make sure that there's nothing physiologically going on with your child. Are there other things that are accompanying your child's overly emotional reactions? Is your child experiencing bedwetting? Is your child becoming very aggressive? Is your child doing things in school now that are really making you to have really genuine concern? These are other things that you would want to look at because maybe your child could actually be experiencing a form of bullying. Maybe your child is experiencing something outside of the home. Is there in-home conflict that your child is responding to? So there are various things that you want to be aware of when you're considering what may be going on with your child. Also, I want to make sure that you understand that emotional intelligence can be taught. And yes, you can increase your child's level of emotional intelligence. So I'm going to give you four main things that I want you to understand that you can do to help your child with his or her emotions. So, for example, number one, you want to make sure that you are aware of the emotion. You want to let your child know that you see the emotion. You see that they're frustrated. You see that maybe they're experiencing a feeling of feeling overwhelmed. You see that they're sad. You see that there's something that they're trying to express. Number two, you want to make sure that you use that as a teachable moment. That may be a moment for you to connect with your child. That may be a moment for you to teach your child how to have the appropriate response in that time. Also, number three, you want to make sure that you are validating the emotion. You want to make sure that the child understands that he or she has the safe space to feel however they may be feeling. So you want to validate the emotion. And last but not least, you want to make sure that you are able to help the child to name the emotion, put a name to it, but also to redirect the emotion. So what do I mean by that? Let's use an example. So let's say your child is at the table and he or she is frustrated with a homework assignment. And you see this, you see your child doing actions that seem to be overly emotional. So you want to acknowledge that you see the child. Then, second, you want to make sure that you help the child to validate the emotion. You want to make sure you connect with the child. You want to make sure that you pause whatever you're doing and you connect with the child. And then, last but not least, as I stated, you want to put a name to the emotion. I understand that you're feeling frustrated. I understand that your assignment may be difficult. I understand that maybe it's a lot right now. What do you think that you need to do right now? A lot of times your child may say, I need to take a break. Or you could encourage your child, if you have a young child, to maybe step away from it, to take a break. This teaches your child two things in that moment. Number one, how to put a name to what he or she is feeling. And number two, how to redirect, reframe the emotion, and have an appropriate emotional reaction. Guys, I hope that this has been helpful for you.
Thank you, Dr. Markesha, for sharing your 4 tips to help and improve children's emotional intelligence. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to share it on social media. Use the hashtag #BetterEmotions. And remember, you've got this. The fact that you are here watching this video means you're an amazing parent. And that's a wonderful thing to be.